the People's Republic. A time of change and challenges. CCTV reporters travel across the country to show you a nation in transformation. Economic growth, sustainable development, tough choices, the rule of law, and social diversity. A country that's going forward. China on the move. Only on CCTV International.
Well, now time for our special series, China on the Move. Most of China's ethnic minority groups live in the western part of the country. Accelerating the development of their economy is a task that China faces on its road to establishing a harmonious society. As our reporter Zhang Lu finds out in Yunnan province in southwest China, for minority groups like the Hani people, economic development is closely related to the protection of their culture.
The
Hani people live in remote mountain areas in Yunnan province. To make a living, generations of Hani people have worked hard to change the rugged and mountainous terrain into arable land. They have built thousands of hectares of terraces from the foot of the mountains to the very tip. The huge-scale terraces are now one of the world's most famous agricultural wonders. With a history of more than 1,300 years, the Hani terraces are still functioning well today. But now, these magnificent achievements are no longer able to guarantee a better life for their creators. 55-year-old Li Xiaosheng and his family have lived in a traditional-style Hani house for decades. Li's mother is nearly 100 years old. Life hasn't changed much for them in years.
The house is more than 70 years old. We want to build a new one, but we don't have enough money.
The total annual income for the entire family is now about 8,000 yuan, or about $1,200. But the main source of money is not from the terraced crops.
Around 2002, the village began to develop tourism. We have had more income since then, and life has improved a lot.
The landscape attracts many visitors from both home and abroad. As a wonder of agricultural civilization, the Hani terraces are now a candidate for the World Natural and Cultural Heritage awarded by UNESCO.
Bidding is key for protecting the cultural wonder and reducing poverty for locals. If we succeed, firstly, we'll receive more policy and financial support. Secondly, it will help locals better understand the value of their farming culture and thus encourage them to keep their traditions willingly. Thirdly, it can help develop tourism and bring more revenue to locals.
66-year-old Li Zhengling says he never realized the terrace he works on every day could become this important and valuable.
Now we have about 203 households in the village. As more visitors come, we become richer. 1/3 of us have built new houses.
But he said due to poverty, many young people have moved to cities to earn a better living. The local government says more will be done to improve the economic situation to encourage the villagers to stay with their land.
In addition to boosting tourism, we'll also teach villagers to grow high-quality rice, develop fish culture in the paddy fields, and help them sell products. We have to let the villagers know that their terraces can bring them profits.
But Zhang stressed the development of tourism would be in moderation. Balance should be maintained between the protection of the agricultural wonder and economic development. Visitors describe the agricultural wonder as staircases to heaven. For local people, the terraces are staircases to a better life. Poverty doesn't always result from a lack of resources, but from a shortage of knowledge on how to manage what have already existed. Government efforts will be enhanced to help minority groups like Hani people improve awareness and to support them in developing a sustainable growth model. Zhang Lu, CCTV, Yuanyang, Yunnan Province. During my trip to southwest China, I found that a great many changes had taken place in the relatively underdeveloped regions. Improvements can be seen in people's living conditions, education, healthcare system, environmental quality, and basic democratic practice. But poverty still remains the biggest challenge, and more efforts is needed to protect the rights and interests of those in poverty. Take migrant workers as an example. They move to cities to earn a better living, but legal and policy protections for migrants are imperfect, often leaving them at a disadvantage. Pilot projects, including the establishment of a social security and medical care network, have already been implemented. By expanding that experience nationwide will take time. Urbanization will be a main driver for China's economic growth in the long run. Properly addressing concerns of migrant workers is vital to that process, and it's also an important part of the country's determination to realize social justice.